evening, everybody. Rabbi Singer here again, March 5th. I'll make another one of these little short videos. See if people like them, if it helps anybody. Hopefully people be informed. Definitely helps me. Appreciate you being part of my journey. Yeah, the libs get me going. I'm thinking about wearing, I dress in this black and white uniform every day. I'm thinking to dress in a whole red MAGA suit now. Just feel like these people are being so oppressive and telling people what they can and can't do and can and can't think. It's too much. It's too much hate, you know. They say they're for liberty and freedom and this and that, but as soon as someone doesn't do anything their way, they're all over them. It's unbelievable. And they can't have a meaningful dialogue. They just scream names and deliver no content. You know, they're good with words and spin, but when it comes to substance and actions, they're zilch. Let's see. AOC was trying to cause the president problems with his finances. We see her finances are in jeopardy. Ellen Omar with more anti-Semitic stuff. I mean, and she's, in my opinion, she's a terrorist. You got to check her out. I mean, she recently had a fundraiser in Florida. I just like people to be informed. You can look at the guest list on that fundraiser. Well-known terrorists, people who support terrorists. She supported that conflict not that long ago. She took against the side of the Americans for the, I want to say, an oppressive terrorist regime. When she was in Minnesota, I only learned this today, that when there were some people who wanted to become part of ISIS. I mean, if anyone's not aware, ISIS is probably the most vicious terrorist unit we have now, you know, chopping people's heads off and burning them alive, God forbid, and chanting all kind of not nice things, the worst not nice things you can imagine. Anyway, these people had fake passports, everything else. And she tried to plead for leniency in their sentencing and saying long sentences actually contributed to terrorism. I mean, these people should be locked up. They should have their heads chopped off, in my opinion. You know, the Torah allows for such punishments, but that's another story. That's another thing that gets me. These people misquoting the Bible and misusing what the Bible says because they're unlearned. That's just whatever, a side point. Something that bugs me. Try to stay on track. Anyway, and what they had was equivalent to 20 to 40 years, was equivalent to a life sentence. They're lucky that, you know, they weren't beheaded. Whether or not the Torah believes in jail time is another discussion. But I mean, our stripes are shown. You know, hopefully the Minnesota people will step up and say that's not what they want. But you know, her you can't even blame as much. You know, she's been clear about who she is, which is what I love so much about President Trump. I mean, he is who he is. He owns it. But the people who rally around her, especially I'm just embarrassed to say, the Jewish people that stand by her, it's very hard. These self-hating Jewish people, the people she supports, are just as happy to chop their heads off as anyone else. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody, but I mean, let's just be real. If you have the idea that if you go hug the terrorists and tell them you understand them, you won't chop your head off, I can promise you're mistaken. And he who, you know, righteous is a loaded word. A good person, a nice person, a moral person. A person who says, you know, I don't want to judge anybody. I accept everybody. You know, the terrorists, they have their reasons. This isn't a moral person. This is an apathetic person who doesn't care. They're too lazy to get involved. Anyway, a moral person stands up against injustice. It's another thing the libs are doing that's making me nuts. You know, they attack the president or they attack whoever they attack. And when the people who are being attacked defend themselves, they say that the people defending themselves are this vicious, oppressive regime. All they did was defend themselves against the virulent hatred that was coming out of the left. So, I mean, they spin things. Trying to say President Trump has had this vicious attack against the media for years. They've been attacking him for years. He's just standing up for himself. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, they spin everything. And I think the easiest way to distill this is if you look at what he's contributed in action compared to other presidents. And what the Democrats are contributing, which is zero, the Green New Deal, and a lot of hatred and divisiveness. The thing that really gets me about them is they don't even believe what they believe. They say they stand for free speech. They say they stand for against racism. They say they stand for, you saw how they condemned Kavanaugh, but they're kind of all hiding when it comes to the West Virginia situation, all the people in trouble over there. And they don't stand up for the principles they say. The principles are convenient and they duck and turn another way. I mean, if you side with a liar, if you pick a liar, what do you expect is going to happen when their agenda, when you no longer suit their agenda? You know, this isn't a person of principle. I don't understand who could be supporting them. You know, okay, flaky college kids, I don't mean anything against the college kids. I used to also be a college kid. I wanted, you know, I thought peace, love, happiness, and wasn't as aware that peace comes through strength then. And, you know, legals and maybe rich doctors, but, you know, they're not people of integrity and they don't do what they do. And, you know, if you can't stand up for yourself, I'm here to stand up for you. You have a voice. Let me know what you need. And everyone should have a good night.